Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. So I just want to do a quick little update on my castoncrit Forbidden Rite build. Still able to do 100% delirious maps. I'll put that at the end of the video as well. Before we get into it, make sure to click that subscribe button. Definitely helps me out a lot, and it only takes you a second. So I did a couple changes. Actually got a fractured increased critical strike chance, a Gemini Claw. I added about 500,000 damage. I just hit it with some perfect fossils to get it up to 30% quality. Haven't done the harvest enchant on it yet, but it's the same concept. Hit it with essence of zeal to get attack speed till you get critical strike multiplier. And then you do suffixes cannot be changed, veiled chaos orb, and then you can craft really anything on there aside from damage, chaos, or caster. Anything that doesn't have those tags, unveil it and kind of hope for the best. You don't have a very good chance of hitting spell damage or chaos damage, but you can do it. I think it took me 4 tries to get this one. It's kind of expensive, but it's kind of one of the next steps until I get a Mage Blood, which I probably won't. And then I can go for a dagger, which will add a lot of damage, but you kind of have to use a Gemini Claw in order to get that mana per hit, because as I said in the last video, mana's pretty rough. I did actually switch out my expensive boots, just some regular res boots. I'm well over the res cap. Just bought a regular base of boots that had the chance to avoid being stunned if you've killed recently, and just hit it with some tier 2 essences for res. So I can, keep stacking that res. I'll eventually switch out the rings since I've been using these. I was able to still do another 100% delirious Crimson Temple. Yeah, loving the build. I also price checked everything in League, because a couple people have been asking me how much the build cost. I am playing in standard because I have a standard character and it's easier for me to do builds. One of the big things was the Melding of the Flesh. So this is pretty much what we're working with. The Helm with the enchant, it's about 2 to 3 divine. If you want to get the 21%, there's one right now when I was recording this for 8 divines. The Gemini Claw with fractured, the fractured critical strike chance, about anywhere from 4 to 15 divine. Shield with the higher percent of armor was 10 roughly. +1 chaos skills amulet with some res, and about 1 divine. Body armor, Skin of the Lords with the same iron grip, because it gives you strength damage bonus, applies projectile attacks, which Forbidden Rite is a projectile, so it gives you more damage. That was another 1 divine. You can buy a ring. Just, it's literally just stats and res. You can try and get crit multi on them, but 25C. The Curse on Hit ring right here, with some res and dex, was about 1 divine as well. I price checked the gloves as best I could, high res, and also threw the max cold res in there as well. So those were about 3 or 4 divines. The belt, so these are pretty hard to find with that high of a res roll, but just a crystal belt with the 20% increased cooldown rate was about 5 divines. So for the boots, I just put 25C. You can get really any pair of boots that have armor or energy shield. You don't want to do any kind of evasion base. Have evasion, and just get one with the enchant. 80% chance to avoid being stunned if you've killed recently. Just spam the resistance essences until you get hopefully 3 or whatever you need. Whatever will get you res capped. And then you do, as long as you don't have full prefixes, suffixes cannot be changed, and veiled chaos orb, and then craft mana or life. Whichever one, lowest one doesn't matter. unveil it and hope for the best. Just like these ones, for the move speed cannot be chilled, you can get move speed onslaught, move speed cannot be chilled, or move speed increased move speed if you haven't been hit recently, but don't use that one because Forbidden Rite hits you every time you cast it. Cluster Jewels, so the ones I'm using in standard, this one right here has 15% chance to avoid being stunned. You can't get that really anymore at all because they took it out of Harvest, so you just have to get a regular jewel somewhere that has the corrupted implicit cannot be stunned. So I have 15 there. That's not available, but you get even just all three of these: Touch of Cruelty, and Holy Grace, and Wicked Pale. It's about 80 chaos. The spell one, put 2 divine, because I use all 3 of them. Get Mage Hunter, which chance to block spell damage is great. Then increase spell damage, chance to gain a power charge when you block. I mean, it's nice, you're pretty much always going to have max power charges. More spell damage, and then Leech's energy shield. That's kind of what helps you survive and keeps your energy shield going, because you can't use any flasks really. I mean, you could take Zealot's Oath and try to get some life regen somewhere, but yeah, you need to leech energy shield, and you also need to use Val Discipline. That's like an instant flask every once in a while when you build it up. For the unique jewels, so Militant Faith right here, you want to go for reduced mana cost of skills, because once again, mana sucks. The other one, channeling skills, deal increased damage, doesn't really matter. Your actual cyclone damage really does nothing. But you put that right here so that you can get this. You can take it here or here. Doesn't make a difference. But the 3% more spell damage per power charge adds, for my build, about a little over 1 million damage. And then gain power charges instead of frenzy charges, like, doesn't make a difference really. And then the melding, so I've had a couple people ask me, so this is the unnerfed version of Melding to the Flesh, because I'm playing in standard, I can get it. If you're playing in League, you know, you can lose -4 max res. So I'm at 88%, so you can technically get it up to 90. That puts you at 86. Could technically get it back up to 90, but it'd be pretty hard. But even at even at 84%, you're still blocking a lot, better than 75. And so, you know, it was about 70 chaos or so. The Third of Hope, you want to get -10 because you're already fighting against resistances. So get it as well rolled as you can, because it can go up to -20, and you don't want that. You can get away with it, obviously. You know, I'm pretty well over. I could harvest reforge some of my items and get some more fire resistance to be able to deal with -20, but you want to make sure to get the large one, obviously, so you can take Light of Divinity, Glancing Blows, and Divine Shield. It was about 4 divine, so all in all, you're looking at, you know, I did the best averages I could, about 46 divine, maybe 50, depending. You can actually get the double elevated boots without any resistances on them, however. With the enchant, the time that I recorded this, about 30 divines, so that puts you at about 76, call it 80 divines maybe. The build that can do 100% delirious maps slowly, but you can do them. That's been no issue doing them. I've done probably 4 or 5 now. Trying to get that apothecary, I still haven't got one to drop, but maybe one day. Alright, so go into the path of building here, just so you can kind of see some of the updates. So, it's a new claw, and the cheap boots. Still doing 8.7 million DPS, 100% crit chance. I still roughly about the same hit pool, lose about 495,000 damage. It's about 5% damage lost, but it still works great and saves you, you know, about 50 divines crafting them, or 50 divines to buy them, depending. There's not on trade with everything that these have. If you can get the, you know, Onslaught and Tailwind and Res, high res, then you can do the same thing and just, you know, suffix not be changed. Veiled Cast Orb, craft mana or life. Hope to get move speed cannot be chilled. Hope to get a free prefix, and craft cannot be frozen. Then it'd be good. Because even with the plus 45 fire res, I'm at, you know, plus 6. So I'm only at 94 fire res. Resistances, they're rough with the melding of the flesh, but that makes a huge difference. If you drop it, obviously I'm still at 88 because I have pure device and the Aegis Aurora, but you know, your fire and lightning res, they drop pretty significantly from 82 down to 46 or 48. But survivability, it's definitely key. Alright, well thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.